If you're watching this video and you're a creative who's in business, keep watching. This video is going to be perfect for you. Today's video is titled How I Built a $1 million Business with Only Working 5 Hours a Day. Now, this is going to be especially important for you to watch if you're a creative in business, because my second statement here on my handwritten cue cards is how to build a business that is profitable and keeps you creative. One of the biggest things that I've learned in my business journey is that as a creative, the reason why I got into business was, sure, to help people, to make money, to do the thing that I love. But underneath it all, as a creative, I got into business to stay and become more creative. It wasn't to have headaches with bad customers. It wasn't trying to make enough money every month to live. It wasn't having to call the bank to extend our mortgage repayments. It was to remain creative and hopefully build a business that will enable me to become more creative. So if you're watching this video and you feel stuck, and you can either feel stuck in two ways. You're either stuck with the profitability question, where you're making some money, or maybe you're making a lot of money, but at the end of the day, there's not much profit remaining for you as a business owner. That's one way to be stuck. We're going to fix that. Number two is that you feel stuck creatively. And if you're a creative, your creativity can be so attached to your passion, joy, and purpose in running your business that if you lose that or feel stuck in that, you can lose the will to even continue running the business that you're in. So either you're stuck in profit without profit, or you're stuck in creativity. You've created a business that doesn't serve you. You're serving it, a slave to it, and it's taking your passion away. So we're going to address that. How to maybe not necessarily make $1 million a year. You might make more than that. You might make less than that. You might work 5 hours a day. You might work 2 hours a day. You might work 10 hours a day. The whole goal of this video is to share with you the truth that you can build a business that serves you, that can be profitable, and you as the creative can stay creative and hopefully become more creative by building a business that serves you. Now, I'm going to get straight into it. There was a stage in business, a time as a creative business owner where business sucked. And I've had to create this statement for myself, a statement of not belief, but a statement of reality, that the business that we now own is one that we love to own and love to grow. Now, if you hear that statement and you think about your own life and your own business, and you can't confidently make the same claim that you have a business that you love to own and a business that you love to grow, then again, this video is going to be perfect for you. Today, I have that business, a business with team, a business with a brand, a business with customers that are happy, with processes, systems, and profit. But it wasn't always this way. There was a day when we had to call the bank multiple times to see if we can get an extension or an extended time on making our mortgage. There were times where we were down to the crunch, and every dollar absolutely mattered for bills and living and all of those things on top. There was a time where I questioned everything. Is our offer even worth selling? Is this service even needed by anyone? Is anyone ever going to pay us more than what we're currently making, and we're making at a loss? There was a time where I questioned it all, but because I knew deep down that there was a reason I was running this business, that there was inherent value, even if it was buried miles below the surface, there was value in what I had to offer. I just needed to figure things out, and I knew that there could be a way. Fast forward to where we are today, everything has changed. Not that we're perfect, not that it's the best business in the entire planet, but to me, it is important for me to know that it is a business that I love to own. I have pride in it, and it's also a business that I love to grow because I know that more people need this business, and also because this business serves me, I want it to serve me in a greater way. Hopefully that's making sense. Let's get into it. To grow a profitable creative business, you will need what we discovered as a profit flywheel. Now, to break this down, I've given it a name, Profit Flywheel. The whole goal in starting a business is to build momentum and then leverage that momentum to generate a profit. That's business 101. You make sales, revenue, you pay expenses, and you're left with a profit. Now, what can happen in a creative business is when you don't have a system and a process to follow To create momentum, we enter a cycle of ebbs and flows, big waves and big dumps. And what that looks like is month to month. Some months are great. You land a new website job, you land a new brand job, you land a new photography gig, or maybe you land a handful of each and you have a month that rockets up. What then happens is without system, without process, without team, and without a way to approach your business, you can get bogged down in delivering that service, answering customer queries, hand-holding bad fit customers that you shouldn't have taken on in the first place. And as it looks like a big revenue, the next month is lower because you haven't put the effort into generating new work, and you just enter this wavy, turbulent life that becomes far too common for creatives. And overall, when you look at the year in the rear view, you realize, wow, we had some great months, we had some bad months, and overall we kind of did okay. That is not the outcome or the life that you deserve to live as a creative. And so you need to create a profit flywheel. And so a flywheel is essentially, how do we answer the momentum problem? Everything that wants to pick up speed or head from point A to point B, whether it's you as an uncreative, unprofitable business owner, and you want to head towards a point in time where you are profitable and more creative, you need to have speed so that you can travel that distance and close the gap. Now, the only way to have speed is to build momentum, and that's what a flywheel does. If I pick up the slide again, a profit flywheel is having multiple pieces in a system spinning or moving forward to create momentum that you can leverage as a business owner and convert that into profit. A basic way to explain that would be that you have pieces in your business with a process to follow and a system to automate it and team to carry it, so that you can find new work, onboard that new work, deliver the goods of that work, retain happy customers, and push this around in a flywheel that you as a business owner get to control and become rewarded by. This is what a profit flywheel works. Well, to create a flywheel, you might be asking the questions, well, what are those points in the system that we need to rotate? And so to create a profit flywheel, this is what we found in our business, was that we had to have profit pillars. These are 5 profit pillars that I'll talk through in the next part of this video. 5 profit pillars that essentially break down your business into 5 key areas. Break down your business into areas that you can start, systemize, and scale, that you can start to build process around, create systems within, and then place team members inside so that you can automate it and scale it without you needing to be on the plow all the time. Essentially, how do we build profit pillars in our business that can help us create a flywheel of momentum that generates a profit and an enjoyment out of owning and growing our company? So let's get to it. The 5 profit pillars are as follows, and most often than not, you'll be aware of some of these. You might even be aware of all of them. Hopefully you're not aware of any of them. But as I go through these 5 profit pillars, start to take note. Which ones are you lacking in? Which ones are you great in? And which ones have you never heard of before? Then by the end of this video, my goal is that you'll be aware of the 5 profit pillars and you'll be aware of which one needs your attention most right now. So let's get started. The first profit pillar is marketing. Here, I've got it here revealed. Marketing is exactly what it sounds like. How do we produce content or run ads or promote our business and communicate with the market in a way where we can show what we have to offer, share the case studies of how that's worked successfully for previous customers, and how people can make contact or inquire or engage with our business to get what we've got for them. That's marketing. Everything from content to ads to direct promotion in a way that can enable you to get more work in the door. Now, the trouble with marketing that a lot of business owners go through is that they can be so focused on marketing to the point of generating new work that they're doing it all themselves. You're writing every single post, you're managing your website, you're trying to run ads, you're dancing on TikTok, whatever it is, you're door knocking, you're printing out flyers. Marketing can be all surrounded around you and reliant on you. And here's the issue. if everything in marketing is relying on you so that you can get more work in the door, what happens when you do land work and you have to then go and onboard and deliver it? I'm sort of pointing you towards some of the future pillars. Marketing completely ceases. And so what happens is when marketing relies on you, when you have to step out of that position and walk into another pillar of onboarding or delivery, the marketing engine, the marketing pillar in your business no longer operates. And that's an issue because without new work, there's nothing to deliver and there's nothing to charge and there's nothing to profit from. Hopefully that makes sense. The second pillar is sales. Now, marketing is great, but if you can't close any of the inquiries that come in, then you're going to have a big issue. Sometimes businesses have a lead issue. So you might be asking yourself right now, do I have a sales issue or a marketing issue? The easy way to answer that is if you don't have any leads coming in the door, you have a marketing issue. If you have lots of leads, lots of inquiry, lots of business coming in the door, but you're not able to close and then deliver that work, you have a sales issue. And so today I want to talk about some of the issues that we can face in sales. Now, number one is just not knowing first principles in sales. I'm going to get to the overall issue, which is the same as marketing, is that it's too reliant on you. But let's just talk about some fundamentals. In sales, everything is about friction and not having friction, but having the least amount of friction possible. When you're generating leads or inquiries or website visitors or people coming in the door, you need to make it so ridiculously easy for them to buy what you have to sell. And so number one, you need to have it clear what it is you have to sell and how much it's going to cost them to engage. Giving people an idea of not only what you're selling, but how it can be sold to them and how much that investment is going to be will save you so much time. Instead of booking multiple calls, walking them through hoops of fire to hopefully convince them and force them into a paid service, making it easy for them to see how good your work is, that's your marketing, but then also see clearly what it's like to invest in your service, how much it's going to cost, and clearly articulating what they're going to get in return. That is the art of sales, making things easy. The second issue is that it's too reliant on you. So if you're generating all the leads and then you're stepping into closing those leads, but then on a successful close of a deal, you're then having to move into onboarding and delivering that service, you're going to have the same issue as your marketing pillar, but in your sales pillar. If it's all reliant on you, then the moment you step out, that pillar in the business ceases to function. And if you're not closing more deals, and you're also not generating more leads, then your business is heading for a future where there's going to be a slump. So number three, which is really, really, really important, and I've found after talking to lots and lots of creative business owners, this one is one that they forego more often than not, and we're going to fix that today. Number three is onboarding. So after you've marketed to generate a lead, you've used sales tactics and systems to convert that lead, before you deliver a service, and this is one of the big mistakes a lot of creative businesses make, is before you deliver a good service, you have to set yourself up for a win. And so onboarding is no longer just a process that you follow or a means to get information or get assets or get files in a way that you can deliver a service. Onboarding will become your secret weapon in delivering better delivery, better services, better value, and also making your life, the customer's life, and your team's lives like 1,000% better. Because onboarding is how you onboard not only the client, but also yourself and your team. Here's how it can look. Onboarding isn't just sending a Dropbox link to get all of their assets or to get all of their information, or send us your website and we'll do some research on you. Onboarding is how do we set up expectations with the customer, with our team, and with ourselves so that everyone is on the same page so that later down the track, everybody can accurately measure what a win looks like. And I'll say that again. Onboarding isn't just a checklist or a Dropbox link. Onboarding is how we set expectations between client, business owner, and team so that everyone can measure a win later on. This is super important because as we get into delivery and the fifth pillar, which I'll reveal at the end, we're going to want and we're going to hope that we've onboarded customers ruthlessly amazingly, which is a fake word, because we want to know that we've got everything we need to deliver our job to the best of our ability. We also want the customer to have a really clear expectation on what they're going to receive at what point, how the communication is going to work, how the process is going to be fulfilled, and when they can expect to get their desired goods. This is super important in business. Expectations are everything. After onboarding, we're going to get into, here we go, my little handwritten show notes, delivery. Now, delivery is vital because if you can't deliver a service, then, well, you're going to have to give a lot of refunds or you're going to have nothing to show to future prospects. Delivery is exactly what it is. Someone has paid you for a service. Delivery is delivering that service so that the customer receives not only the goods that they've paid for, but they also present to you a glowing report of satisfaction that they loved doing business with you through the process of onboarding, but also the results of delivery. Delivery can go wrong in two ways. Number one, again, you as the creative are in charge of it all. Your hand is in everything. You're delivering the new website or the new rebrand, or you're running every single ad and every campaign. You're doing the reporting. You're doing everything that has been paid off, which sounds like you're meeting the mark. Someone paid me. I deliver the service. I get a profit. Well, it doesn't always work that way, because if you are delivering everything and delivery is again reliant on you, then the moment you need to step out of delivery to go back to onboarding because you've got a new client come in the door, or you've got 5 new clients coming on the door, but also in the middle of delivery and onboarding, you're having to sell new leads that you've just generated because you've been marketing really well, you'll start to see, and you might be experiencing right now, even at scale with a team, if your profit pillars are too reliant on you as the owner, everything will suffer because of it. Quality of your delivery goes down, conversion of your sales goes down, no leads are generated, or customers have wrong expectations and refunds come because you didn't onboard well. You start to see how this profit flywheel is super reliant on not just identifying the profit pillars, but also building systems and processes, automations, and team so that you are not the one that it all relies on. They say all roads lead back to Rome. Well, I tell you what, you don't want to be Rome because it'll turn into a gladiator fight in the middle of a Colosseum with you in the middle and 40, 50 opponents, your team, your time, your profits, and your customers fighting you to the death, and it can feel a little bit like that. So delivery needs to be either supported by team or delivered by team. And the main difference there is being supported by a team is if you are the expert and your goal is to build a business that's more of a lifestyle business around you, whether you're a coach or an award-winning designer or a photographer, building systems and these pillars around you means that you do what you do best and nothing of the stuff that you're bad at. That is what it looks like. If you're building a business where delivery is not dependent on you, then you're the team builder, the leadership person. You're building out every other pillar and outsourcing delivery to a team or contractors so that you can do what you do best, which is lead, which is delegate, which is build team systems, or maybe it is to market and sell. Now, the last pillar we're going to talk about before we talk about how to actually get this into a flywheel is retention. Now, much like onboarding, retention is something that business owners sleep on far too often. And this is how do we get customers to be so happy that they come back time and time again, and bonus, they bring their friends. This is what retention is, and it is a full-blown focus. It's not just sending a Google review link at the end of a job. It is how do we deliver our service in a way from marketing, sales, onboarding, delivery towards retention in a way where they just can't see any other option in the market, any other competitor as a worthy cause, and you are the one that they will return to time and time again, regardless of when you increase your fees, increase your price, or exclude the type of market that you're working with. They will beg to work with you again and again, because retention is about what I've sort of coined the new recurring revenue. The new MRR is what I call happy customers. Now, the reason why this is so powerful and should be a great reminder for you today is that there's no point worrying about recurring revenue if your customers aren't happy. Now, if you've got a service that is recurring, like media buying or Facebook ads or design ongoing, whatever it is, then recurring revenue is important, but you can't have recurring revenue if your customers never stay. Now, the mistake people make is they focus so much on, oh, we could charge 3, 5, 10 grand a month for this, and over a year, that would be with this amount of clients would be $1 million business. Well, it's a great dream to have, and it's a great goal to aspire to that can be achieved. But again, if you don't have happy customers, your model, projections, and financial goals will never be realized because people don't come back for more. So retention's main focus is how do we build happy customers to the point that they would never go anywhere else and they might even bring their friends. That's what retention is about. And here's how it turns into a flywheel. Once you've got all of these pillars firing, you've started them, you've systemized them, and now you're starting to scale them, they start to feed into each other and build a flywheel that creates momentum in your business that you can then leverage to generate a profit. The two biggest ways that people don't profit in creative businesses is one, they do the work themselves, and so they're always limited on how much they can take on, or two, they don't have enough momentum of new work to build a business that can profit enough that it's worth being in business for. It's all good and well to land 1, 2, or 3 high-paying customers every now and then, but without these systems, without a profit flywheel with all these profit pillars, you'll never go beyond your own personal limitations. And so the way to generate a momentum flywheel like this is to remove bottlenecks. Now, I've listed off 5 profit pillars that help you to build a flywheel. And you might be thinking, but Alex, all 5 of those pillars need my attention right now. And I understand you, I hear you, and I can relate. When you're early in business or you've been in business for a long time, sometimes the house is just on fire and you're like, I don't know what to put out first because it's all aflame. What I want to encourage you on is that when we approach this profit pillar framework, you have to eradicate bottlenecks that are the most painful and then move your way down the hierarchy of those priorities. So, for example, you might be in the case where you've got so many leads, but you're just not closing enough work to validate your ad spend or continuing in business or charging the fees that you charge right now. So you've got a sales issue. Your number one bottleneck would be to solve that sales issue. Remember, the goal of eradicating bottlenecks, eliminating them, is to make sure that the flow of your business, the cycle of your flywheel, and that momentum builds over time. Now, it's slowly but surely, but if you've got a bottleneck here at the top, which is converting new leads or generating them in the first place, if you can't break through that bottleneck, you will never flow down into the future momentum of your company. So focus on sales and focus on sales until it is done. Here is the framework on how to break through bottlenecks at every stage of your business. It's called the 3 S's. Now, if your sales sucks, it's probably because you have never addressed it with focus and priority. So here's how I approach things. In sales, I would start. So just start tracking your data, start tracking your interactions, your calls, your proposals, your emails, everything that contributes to either making or not making a sale. Start that process of working through how to make it better. Number 2 is to systemize it, because if you don't systemize sales or any of these pillars, you're either always going to have to come back to them not working, or you'll never greatly improve and get into momentum with this flywheel in your business. So systemizing looks like creating process or documentation, using automation, using AI, using team so that you are not the one that this pillar is reliant on all of the time, and then scale. Once things are working, because you've started tracking things, you've started to systemize it, it's then safe for you to scale. You never want to scale something that's broken, because then you just get more of the issues that you had in the first place. Volume won't fix that. But once something has been started, it looks like it's working, so you start to systemize it and it becomes safe and confident, then you can scale it, which could look like more leads into that sales process, which means you can increase your marketing, or it's more team so that you can convert more and take more on. You take this process and you apply it to every bottleneck in your business. Now, here is the caveat. There is always going to be something for you to work on, whether it's better marketing, whether it's better sales, whether it's smoother onboarding, greater delivery, or having more retention in your business and happy customers coming back. There will always be something to work on, and sometimes it'll feel like it all needs your attention. But the number one key is to use the 3 S's and focus on one pillar at a time. So once you start systemizing the scale and fix your sales issue, move to onboarding. Once onboarding is just bulletproof because you've started addressing it, you've systemized it, and now you're ready to scale it, move on to delivery, then move on to retention, and then go all the way back to marketing. This focused, stacked, and staged approach will mean that all of your energy and effort goes into one pillar until it's successful, which then feeds momentum into the next pillar. Think about it like this. When marketing gets better and more effective, you're generating more leads that comes into sales. And then when you focus on sales, you're converting more people that need to be then onboarded. And when you onboard effectively, delivery gets more efficient, gets more valuable, and just gets better. So when we get to retention, you've got more happy customers to get reviews from, to get referrals from, or to keep and increase your lifetime value because they keep coming back for more. It comes back into marketing. Because you've got all these happy customers, you can use that as fuel for your marketing, sell more, onboard more, deliver more, retain better, and continue to the point where you have built a profit flywheel. This is everything that we have learned in running our creative businesses and has allowed me to build a system, a process, a team, and now a brand that supports a profitable creative business. And I can make that claim confidently that I love to own my creative business and I love to grow it because it serves me and not the other way around. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. I know there's going to be a lot of questions, but I wanted to make this video first because it's the overarching theme, the overarching framework for how we have succeeded to date in our creative business. There's so much nuance, whether you're a Webflow developer, a wedding photographer, a brand designer, you're just a creative in business. There's so much nuance to your business and your industry, your niche, and your current problems. But sharing this overview hopefully gives you an idea of how you can successfully achieve your goals of being a profitable creative in business, how you can systematically approach your business to build momentum, to create a flywheel, and leverage that momentum to make a profit in your business, and the 5 profit pillars from marketing, sales, onboarding, delivery, and retention that makes this all possible. If you have any questions, what I want to do is encourage you to comment below this video, to send me a message on any social platform that you can find in the description or in my account bio. I want to hear from you on what are the nuanced, unique problems you're facing to do with any of these 5 pillars or building this system and flywheel overall for your business, because I want to make content that helps you out, you watching this video, helps you to become more creative and more profitable, to love to own and love to grow the business that you have. So comment below if you enjoyed this video, if there's things that you think I could improve on, or if you want some help implementing these slides into your business, send me a message. I would love to hear from you. And my closing statement would be, you can do it. There is a reality and there is a future where your business is a joy to have. It is profitable. It is working. You will find that team and that process, and you will dominate your market with a highly valuable brand, being known for someone who delivers the world's best value to your unique customers. You can get there. It's going to take some work, but all you need is a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of failure, a way to learn from it, and a system so that you can become profitable and creative. Thanks, guys. I'm going to make much more videos like this. Like, subscribe, do the thing, and I'll see you on the next one.